All right, so this is my first attempt at multi-streaming. I'm over here on Twitch and on TikTok live right now. We're doing a Innistrad Crimson Vow collector booster opening. The reason I'm doing this, I know this isn't like a high value set. Highest value card in here is like 20 bucks, which is about the cost of the pack. So I'm not looking to making any money off of this. But what I've got right here uh, is my collection of all the Werewolf cards and Magic the Gathering. You can see there are some huge gaps here. But Crimson Vow is one of the sets that I'm missing the most out of. So one of the big reasons I'm doing this, let's see, here's Crimson Vow all the way over here with the Lista Watcher in front. So one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I want to fill in a few of those gaps. So without any further ado, let's get started because I've got I've got a baby that is going to be waking up on me sometime real soon, and I gotta make sure that I'm gonna be there to take care of him as soon as he does. All right. That was I don't think it was Crimson Vow, but there was a manufacturing issue with one of the Innistrad ones I opened. I think it must have been the box topper. All right. I think it must have been Midnight Hunt, where you could actually see through the packaging. Um, which I mean, let you see about the first part or so, but that's still a little bit wild that they managed to make it through like that. All right, so let's start with, as the White Knight said to Alice, let's start at the beginning, and when we get to the end, then we'll stop. Another interesting one that we might see in here is that, you know what, this might have been the one that was kind of transparent. Look, you can see the print from the inside of these packs. Interesting. Oh yeah, if you hold it up to the light, you can see straight through it. Another thing that I'm looking for in here is the uh, Dracula series. They did a whole like separate sheet of Dracula cards that got included in here. Okay, got our Militia Rallier or Selhoff Entomber. A nice foil Ancestral Anger. That goes really well in my Zada deck. Kindly Ancestor. Some of these might go into my Hypercube, my all double-sided cube. It's a really nice swamp. I do like these full art swamps. All right, we got Blood Vial Purveyor. Set the lands separate because I'm going to separate them later. Imposing Grandeur. Oh, that's from the Commander stuff. Da, da, da. Oh, that could. Hmm. That could be really good in my Flame Speaker and Sunsong or whatever deck that I've been looking at. That Dying to Serve. Whenever you discard a card, one or more cards, create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token. This might go perfect with Asmo. I mean, Asmo is all about food, right? But, well, food and discarding, and this is very flavorful. All right, got a Blood Tithe Harvester, an Unholy Officiant, Count Dracula. Didn't I say we had Dracula in here? This is the Sorin the Mirthless version. All right, got Dracula going on. Markov Waltzer, a volatile arsonist, foil borderless. I'll bet that I'm missing this one. And then a zombie token later. Oh, that's the really kind of weird looking guy. It's okay though. It's okay. I want all of them, even if they're kind of weird looking. Let's just clean this up a little bit, and then we'll move on to the second pack. Basic lands over there. All right, we got the blood token. Do the blood tokens really ever show up after outside of Innistrad blocks? I don't feel like they did, but I could be wrong. Maybe a couple showed up in Foundation somewhere. Okay. Blood Servitor, Serpentine Ambush. Target creature becomes a blue serpent. Ooh. Lightning Wolf. They gave Thundermare her own creature type, but they didn't give Lightning Wolf one. Uh, Moldgraph Millipede, Spiked Ripsaw, a Brambleworm, a nice foil island. Again, love these basic lands. Kind of hard to tell which one's which, but real nice. Consuming Tide. Each player returns a non-land permanent they control. Chooses return all non-land permanents not chosen this way. Then draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. Oh boy. Olivia's Wrath. That's a solid board wipe for a vampire deck. Howling Moon, which I think I might need for my party animals deck. Folder and Epicure. Search the Count's Castle. Is there a Dracula card in every one of these packs? Because that's kind of cool. That's a Thirst for Discovery with the Dracula version. Halana and Elena, partners. Another Unholy Officiant. Dracula, Blood Immortal. And a little piggy. A 3/1 boar. Blood boar. Big blood sausage. I speculated um, recently on TikTok that these um, Dracula inserts might be templating for Wizards of the Coast to do some kind of a Harry Potter insert for the upcoming new Strixhaven set. And this is entirely speculative. I don't have any inside knowledge, but that's based on the Ultimate Guard revealing those Harry Potter deck boxes and a few other things. Okay, pack number 3. Whoa, whoa, quarter of the way there. Okay, we're keeping the bugs in the back. Wolf Strike. Target creature gets 2/0 until end of turn. If it's night, then deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Okay. I feel like that should cost a lot less, considering the restriction that it has to be nighttime. Oh man, this is starting to feel a little bit like the Innistrad Remastered box where I opened, where I just got like one of my werewolf cards in the whole thing. Another nice island. Got foil ill-tempered loner, which transforms into a Howl Pack Avenger. That's a nice one. Got Midnight Arsonist. Choose a number between 0 and 13. Each player sacrifices that many creatures. All right, a Blood Crazed Socialite, Falconwrath Celebrant. There's another Dracula Blood Immortal. This one's not foil like the other one, but it's okay because we've got a foil Mysterious Blood Illness. Oh boy. At least it's an instant. And some, minor board wipe. Patchwork Crawler. The zombies in this set were really, really pretty fantastic. And a insect wolf token. Okay, let's do number 4. Moving a little faster today because A, I don't have as many people in chat to chat with, and B, like I said, I got the baby I gotta take care of once he wakes up. Okay, another Blood Crazed Socialite. Fierce Retribution. Syncopate. Nice foil Weary Prisoner. Turns into the Wrathful Jailbreaker, which I think I already have, but I'll set it aside to check. Arm the Cathars. Into a Twin Blade Geist. Turns into a Twin Blade Invocation. A nice Plains. All right, Sundown Pass. That's the Boros one that comes in untapped if you own 2 or more other lands. So solid for the right deck. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1 colorless. If you do, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Very nice. Creepy Puppeteer. Whenever Creepy Puppeteer attacks, or you attack with exactly 1 other creature's combat, you may have that creature's base power and toughness become 4/3 until end of turn. It's kind of a neat card. I'd like to stick it in my Magar of the Magic Strings deck just because I like the puppet deck. Oh, hey, Brew Review. Yeah, I don't think that there's any hits like at all in this entire set. I mean, there's like Toxrill, and that's about it. But who knows? Maybe I'll open like 5 Toxrills in the next 6 packs. Yeah, Creepy Puppeteer. I'd like to put in my Magar deck because it's all the theme there is kind of like games and puppets and stuff, but it's not a mechanical fit. I might be able to make it work. We'll see how it goes. We got Bloodsworn Squire. We've got another Mysterious Blood Illness, non-foil. We've got Edgar, Charmed Groom. When he dies, he comes back as his coffin. Ah, I think there's a Dracula version of that too. Falconwrath Celebrants. What did I say? Toxtrol, right there. Already in my hand. Brew Review, you are my lucky charm, dude. He just popped in here and said, "Good luck on the hits," and I got like the only worthwhile card in the whole deck or in the whole set. And it's the high value print too. This is about $23, $25. That one's going to get set aside to put into a top loader once I figure out where my top loaders are. And then a treasure wolf. All wolves are treasures. Honestly, the only thing that's higher value in the entire set than this foil uh, Toxrill is like I think that there's like two foil etched basic lands that are worth more. I think that's it. But this isn't like Edge of Eternities where you've got $200 cards and stuff floating around. This is just Crimson Vow. All right, next one. I know we're not going to top that. We already got the best one in the set. And honestly, I already have a Toxrill because I got the SpongeBob one. But it's nice that it's plenty creepy and awful and disgusting and scary slug horror instead of just Gary. All right, and the festivities. Is this like a popper staple or something? Because I was looking for this for my Gearson Starn deck and I could not find it. It is one red, does one damage to each opponent, each creature and planeswalker they control. It took me forever to find a copy for considering it's a common. Okay, Toxic Scorpion, Blood Fountain. I'm almost tempted to actually like set up one of those fondue fountains with I don't know. I think you can still get pig's blood from the butcher, can't you? Just to see if it works. But I'm scared of what would happen if it didn't because I've seen those videos of like the cheese getting stuck and launching itself across the room. All right, Whispering Wizard to make spirits once a turn. All right. When Brian Comer enters the battlefield or becomes the target of a R spell, create a 1/1 spirit creature token. Disturb, you can cast it transformed as the Brine-bound gift from your graveyard. Another nice swamp. A Tall House of Horrors. Okay, this is one I haven't seen before. Let's stop and read this. One, tap. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types, and it has this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, so it just turns all of your stuff in your graveyard into horrors. That's neat. That's reanimation and outside of black. So we've got Ethereal Investigator. We've got a Wedding Announcement. There we go. Focus that in. We've got the Markov Waltzer again. I think we've got two or three of this guy. The Gluttonous Guest. I love the other art where she's just chugging these giant like vases full of blood. Dr. John Seward. Okay. It's another of the Dracula cuts. Another blood crazed socialite. A second foil borderless volatile arsonist. Uh, Slightly disappointed that it's not another different werewolf, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. I might need that in the deck anyways, and this way I have two. One of the big problems with a werewolf deck is having to flip cards back and forth all the time, just like flip, flip, flip. It's not an issue when it's one card, but when you've got like seven, and you just have to keep on unsleeving them and turning them around and re-sleeving. So I think the best way to do it is probably to get uh, two of each of your werewolf cards, or proxy a whole bunch of them, at least one side, and that way, whenever it flips, you just grab essentially from your token stack. Okay, we got a nice It's actually a pretty nice 2/2 zombie. It's a little bit dark, the print. You can't make out a whole lot of detail. All right, we got a pyre spawn. I like these guys that when they die, they get this refocused. I like these guys that when they die, they do some damage on their own, but all right, camera, refocus. It's kind of expensive for what its effect is. The bramble armor. Okay, let's. Pointed discussion. Ragged recluse. Ragged recluse turns into the odious witch, and she goes from having torn clothes to smelling bad. Markov purifier. Nice foil infestation expert. This is my least favorite werewolf. Look at this. It's a werewolf that's just covered in bugs. And it just makes insect tokens all day. Wait a second. We had an insect wolf token earlier, didn't we? That probably goes with that pretty well because several werewolves are printed that make werewolf tokens. We'll make wolf tokens. Okay. There's foil mountain. Hopeful initiate. One white for a 1/2 isn't bad. It gets bigger when it attacks with something that has higher power. And oh, and you can use it to destroy artifacts and enchantments. Neat. All right. Lorene, the diversion. Partner with Camber, the plunderer. Is this a headliner for one of the commander decks? Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Goad target creature. Neat. Patchworks crawler. Another belligerent guest. Van Helsing's Holy Ward, a circle of confinement. Ooh, Chandra, dressed to kill. How did I not realize that Chandra was in here? I thought that Arlen and Soren were the only ones. I hmm. I actually like her +1 um for Gearson. Get 1 red mana and deal 1 damage to one creature or a 1 player or planeswalker. It's like 1 mana plus you get it's like a reverse lightning bolt in Gearson Starn because you're gonna do 3 damage and get 1 mana back from it. Okay, we got a Markov Purifier, a Dream Shacklegeist, and then the token was a Wolf Zombie. Those are both potentially useful. Oh, wow. There's 2 box toppers. I did not realize that. I don't know if I even got a box topper in Edge of Eternities. All right, we are now at the halfway point, plus or minus the box toppers. Yeah, the only other box topper I remember getting was from Aether Drift, and those were disappointing. Just a couple of gold lands. All right, can we get this guy to focus? There we go. Perish Blade, Trainee, Wretched Throng, Belligerent Guest, Flourishing Hunter, Angelic Quartermaster, Markov Retribution, a nice foil planes. And we're down to our Savior of Ollenbach. Ollenbach? 1/2 with training. Whenever it trains, exile up to one other target creature from a battlefield or a creature card from a graveyard. Oh, 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 this could be a reanimator card, couldn't it? I could use it on my own. All right, a Hollowhenge Overlord. This guy, this guy was definitely on my list for the werewolf deck. Path of Peril, Cleave. Destroy all creatures with mana value 2 or less for 3 mana. Or for 4, 5, 6, it's just destroy all creatures. That'd be so good if it was pure black, but it's not. Alright, another mysterious blood illness. We've got a Dorothea, Vengeful Victim, which turns into Dorothea's Retribution if you cast her from the graveyard. We got another Blood Crazed Socialite. A splendid Reclamation. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then a Spirit token to go along with the insect. Okay, here's our Heron of Hope. A Siphon Essence. That's not essence, that's blood. Okay, Lacerate Flesh, another Binding Geist. I think we got one earlier here that turns into Spectral Binding. Cartographer's Survey. A nice foil Wolfkin Outcast / Wedding Crasher. Nice foil Mountain. Dreadfast Demon, 6/6 flying. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Dreadfeast Demon. Oh, so over time, it's gonna end up turning everything into Dreadfeast Demons. That's neat. Ooh, Wedding Ring. All right, who wants the other one? When Wedding Ring enters the battlefield, if it was cast, target opponent creates a token that's a copy of it. Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring draws a card during their turn, draw a card. Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring gains life, you gain that much life. So this is nice because it's a life gain and card draw option that you also give to someone else. So whenever they draw cards, you draw cards. Whenever they gain life, you gain life. Good one to put on like a blue player that you know is going to draw a lot of cards. Volderin Estate. This has potential to make free blood tokens. There's a Volderin Epicure, Falconwrath Celebrant, Mina Harker. Oh, I didn't realize Mina was a print of Thalia, Garden of Thraven. Blood Tithe Harvester, Falconwrath Forebearer. I don't think I've seen this one. Do 3/1 flying, can't block. When it deals combat damage to player, create a blood token, sack 2 blood tokens, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, and we got a slug. We got a slug to go with Toxrill down here. Let's put him and his buddy together. Okay, we'll take a Crimson Vow. Another of those nice 2/2 zombies. Okay, we got a pretty Evolving Wilds. Grisly Ritual. Traveling Minister. Don't know why, but the way that these guys are dressed, for some reason, they remind me of Onslaught. Got the Stitched Assistant, Frenzied Devil, a Lamholt Raconteur that turns into a Lamholt Ravager. Got a Forest. Ooh, Geralf, Visionary Stitcher. Zombies you control have flying. Sacrifice another non-token creature. Create an XX blue zombie, where X is the sacrificed creature's toughness. Hmm. Did I, seems like a good one for the Big Butts Matter deck. You can go with Plagon, Lord of the Beach. No, I don't think it would do so well because Plagon cares about the toughness being higher than the power, and this one would make them the same. All right, Drog Skull reinforcements. It's got melee, and other spirits you control have melee. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to spirits you control. It looks like it also has some printed directly damage on the foil. There is a nick taken out of the bottom. All right, another splendid reclamation. Yeah, right there. Another Blood Crazed Socialite. Another Van Helsing's Holy Ward. Old Rutstein. Blood Petal Celebrant. Runo Stormkirk. Oh, a black-blue vampire. When Runo Stormkirk enters the battlefield, put up to one target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. If at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If it's a creature card with mana value 6 or greater is revealed this way, transform Runo Stormkirk. And a boar on the back. Oh wow, he turns into a whole kind of monster, doesn't he? When Crothus, Lord of the Deep, Crothus, yeah, attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. If that creature is a kraken, leviathan, octopus, or serpent, create two of those tokens instead. Oh, and those tokens stick around. Interesting. And we got a boar and a zombie. A boring zombie. All right. Patch number 10 here. We got another of those 3/2 red wolves on top. We've got the Spore Crawler. When it dies, draw a card. Diagraph Scavenger. Nilgast Beguiler. Cradle of Safety, very cute. Uh, Lantern of the Lost. Fell Stinger. Another nice swamp. Jacob Halkin, Inspector. Tap, draw a card, and then exile a card from your hand face down. You may look at that card as long as it remains exiled. You may pay 6 if you do transform him. Human Advisor into a legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library face down. You may look at that card as long as it remains exiled. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land or cast a spell from among the cards exiled. It's permanent without paying its mana cost. Oh, because it's this permanent, not this card, that means that you could use it for Jacob, store a bunch of cards, turn them over, and start casting them for free. Neat. Doomweaver, Reach, Soul Bond. As long as Doomweaver is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, when the creature dies, deal cards equal to its power. It only has a power of 1, which is unfortunate, but such is life. Uvenwald Oddity. It's 4/4 that can transform for 7 mana into a Uvenwald Behemoth. Oh, it stands on up. Does it have hand? Yeah, it kind of does. Pretty much all it does is stand up, it looks like. All right, another gluttonous guest. A Lucy Westerna, that's an innocent traveler, who transforms into Lucy, a risen vampire. We got Blood Vial Purveyor. My opponent casts a spell. That player creates a blood token. Whenever Blood Vial Purveyor attacks, it gets a 1/0 for each blood token that player controls. All right, Gluttonous Guest. Another Dracula Blood Immortal. I've got 3 of these so far, 2 foil, just from this box. And a Spirit Wolf, just like my Shaman in World of Warcraft. And the one thing I had going on for me when doing Warsaw Gulf was the ability of the Shaman to turn into a Spirit Wolf and run the flag faster than most everyone else. And later on, there was the ability to cast a spell with a certain cast time as instantaneously, and I use that to just step outside, turn into a wolf, and run my tail off. Speaking of wolves, here's a Hungry Ridge Wolf, an Apprentice Sharpshooter, a Mind Leech Ghoul, a Hookhand Mariner, nice foil one. That's one of the werewolves that I probably have, but I'll set it aside just in case. Dread Fugue, the Wandering Mind. Look, it's literally a brain that's flying away. See, because it's wandering. All right, a Mountain. Another Chandra Dressed to Kill. This one is, I guess the other one was a full art one, and this one's just foil normal art. Still looks really nice. Imperious Mindbreaker. Soulbound. As long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures has whenever this creature attacks, each opponent mills cards equal to its toughness. That also could be kind of fun for Plagon. Hopeful Initiate again. Blood Petal Celebrant. Alluring Suitor. Attack with 2 characters. He turns into a Deadly Dancer. The 3 Weird Sisters. Beginning of your combat on your turn, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Each player sacks a creature. You draw a card and lose 1 life, or transform Henrika Domnathi. And turns into the Fiends of Phallus Night. Okay, Belligerent Guest, another Patchwork Trawler. And the backside of our insect token was a wolf. So again, a solid one with that infested werewolf. All right, last pack. Some of these packs, they just rip right open, don't they? Okay. All right, what do we got? We've got a Flame Blessed Bolt, which is kind of like a shock that exiles instead of kills, but it only affects creatures and planewalkers. You can't hit to the player. Witch's Web. That'd be a nice one to see reprint in Spider-Man. Another Gluttonous Guest. That's the art I like, where she's just, chugging it. Supernatural Recluse. Diver Scab. Imagine you're underwater on an expedition, you think you're safe, and all of a sudden a zombie shows up in a diving suit. Oh man, a Bloodsworn Squire, which transformed into a Bloodsworn Knight. He grows up, he gets knighted. She? I'm not sure. It. They. Okay, forest. A fourth patchwork crawler. That's a whole play set in here. Cult Epiphany. X and a blue, instant, draw X cards and discard X cards. Create a 1/1 white creature spirit token with flying for each card type among cards discarded this way. Okay, another Savior of Allenbach. Another Belligerent Guest. Quincy Harker, Reclusive Taxidermist. Interesting. Nice black and white Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. A nice foil Bloodsworn Squire. And Aerith Tormented Prophet. If you would draw a card, exile the top two cards of your library instead. You may play those cards this turn. And finally, a 1/1 red human. All right, so as expected, not a whole lot of value in here, but we did get the pricey print of Toxrill the Corrosive right there. We got one slug token to go with him, and a few werewolves that I think I was missing a couple of those, so get those added to the collection. Oh, I also got these box toppers, don't I? Let's go ahead and open those while we're at it. I don't like it when it's packaged for just one card like this. It's hard to open. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got Lucy. This is this different? This is just a card that's in the set, isn't it? I don't think that this is any different than the Lucy that we pulled earlier. Let's take a quick look. I guess it's foil, but that's it. I think it's just a foil version of a card that's in the set. That's disappointing. I kind of expect the box toppers to be a little more unique than that. All right, there we go. And then the very last one, the very last box topper here is Search the Count's Castle. That's another, just card in the set. I think the other one we got to see in foil. All right. That's it for us today. Thank you for joining me. It is just about time to start my day anyway. So have a wonderful day. May all of your pulls be hits and Alola.